Thanks for staying with us. Joining us this Friday is Lai Labode, a revolutionary founder, financial expert, and cultural figure who holds the revered title of Are Ona Kakanfo of Egba land. From pioneering mobile financial services in Nigeria to leading cash token rewards African Limited, his work is transforming how businesses and consumers connect through rewards while pushing financial inclusion and wealth redistribution across Africa. But beyond the boardrooms and innovation, he is a strong voice in cultural preservation and a standout figure in the fashion space, celebrating African identity through style, influence, and platforms that promote heritage. Today, he shares his journey, how his impact, how he's blended business, culture, fashion into one powerful vision. Welcome to the show, Are Egbaliganza. It's so good to have you on the show. Again, we've had you before in our former studio, but we'd like to invite our callers to call and join the conversation on the number 020-1635-2013 or 090-241-63440. You could also tweet to us or drop your comment on YouTube or streaming live right now. So, the last time you were on the show, you were talking about the cash token thing. We're trying to understand how that works. And then I checked you on social media because I was very curious about your outfit that day and discovered that aside from the finance, you are a fashionista, sir. Fashionisto. And it's interesting to see people see finance people as, very strict and in a particular way, and they're seeing fashion as something for flamboyant people. But what made you believe it is combinable, and how have you done that so far?
So thank you very much for having me again. It's such a beautiful studio. I could put a bed here and just sleep. It's such a beautiful one.
Thank you.
And so let me start by saying that innovation and culture can coexist. Yes, finance, big deal. We have to make money, we have to impact lives that way. But then fashion is in the blood. I'm an Egba man. The Egbas are Africa's premium blood. So there's something about us when it comes to fashion. And there's no way, no matter where we go, whether we're doctors, we're engineers, this fashion cannot just go away. It's just how it is.
Just swag.
But of course, our work generally is about impact. So on the financial side, we thought it was important to build platforms, can connect the ordinary people of Nigeria to some prosperity, and Cash Token Africa became that platform where as long as you can buy from a Nigerian business, you can get rewarded, and that reward can potentially change your life. So you see partners like MTN, that has paid out almost 20 billion, on this platform, giving back to Nigerians that are patronizing them, impacting lives. Airtel, Glow, Unilever, quite a bit of partners that we actually have, over the years. And we're very proud of what we have been able to do to touch lives while doing business. So you can make money while touching lives also. And that brings us to fashion. Egbaliganza, first of all, when I became a high chief in Egba land, I'm a statutory chief, the area of Egba land, as you mentioned earlier. The KBAC had charged us that, yes, Egba is a cradle of many firsts. The first hospital, first this, first, it's quite a bit of it. The Obasanjos, the Abiolas, the Kutis, the showing cars, it's quite a bit. The show their cares and the likes. Said that we cannot continue to sit on what we have done in the past. What do we do now? And of course, I always say that on Judgment Day, God will ask, what did you do in your own time? So we thought it was important to establish a platform. So we established the Lai Labode Heritage Foundation and then the Egbaliganza itself that let us create this platform to help take these things to the next level. So first of all, it's preservation. How do we preserve what we have? But then how do we connect the younger generation to it? Because if you don't connect them, it's going to get lost. So Egbaliganza became that platform to connect the young people to the old, to the past, to the best of the present, and then project to the future. And how do we connect all of this glory to the local economy? And we can package that local economy and showcase it to the world, even commercially, so that we can get truly prosperous. And that's how we founded Egbaliganza. So in 2024, we had the first edition. 2025 last year, it was a whole lot. And you notice that while there was quite a bit of comparison to Jude Oba and the likes, we're all from Ogun State. It's not competition. We're very close to the Ijebus. A lot of our friends Ijebus, and we all used to be Abeokuta province. It used to be one Abeokuta province those days, you know. And the Ijebus have done a lot, you know. The Regbe, they are the best in the world when it comes to Regbe. Beautiful, colorful attires. A lot of cultures have also learned from what the Ijebus have done. But the Egbas decided to do something very different, right? We decided to do couture, you know. So if you all those attires that you saw on the runway last year, they were very deliberate, you know, beautiful, different types of things, expressing different things within the culture. You see the kembe, it's no longer just a kembe. You know, it's now kembe okukenu. You see the pleats in it, you see the intricate designs around it. You see it's quite a bit.
I wish we had pictures. It was such a beautiful
so good.
thing.
It was really beautiful. And you know, CKBC's cap last year, it's called Abeti Eye. You know, while the Oyos have Abeti Aja, you know, I'm sure you know Abeti Aja, it's like that. The Egbas have what is called Abeti Oja.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, yes, we created that, you know. Abeti Oja, you see that, you know, those days, even till now, Ologuns in Egba, you see them wearing caps that are long and there's a bag under it. That's where we used to keep our charms those days, you know. Yes, you know. And, you know, but we're not fighting those kind of wars anymore. You know, we're not fighting those wars anymore. So we're not tying it. So if you see two knots, it's called Ologun Asiko.
Oh, wow.
Ologun Asiko. You see two knots, that means you're a high chief in Egbaland. If you see one knot, that means you're a chief of a township. So each of those things actually have meanings. You see Oja, you'll have seen Olowu last year, you know, in his cap with those two. Only a king can wear those two, the way he tied it. So there's quite a bit of that. And the young people, and if you see, Egbaland is agog right now. A lot of people have also already come from abroad. The Shabi Festival is here already. Egbaliganza is here already. So there's quite a bit of activity already in Abeokuta. People have attires are being created, you know, there's quite a bit that.
Yeah, it's part of the reason I tried to do a combo of Adire and Ashobi.
You know, and it's beautiful. You know.
Yes, so all you've talked about is work. Somehow, even the fashion somehow is work related. So we want to get to know you, as in who is, Lai Labode, beyond work, who are you?
Okay, so I think I'm very restless. You know,
one of those.
You know, and there's quite a bit that comes, and we try to execute. You know, and luckily, I think my business, I'm very lucky to have very good people who work with me. Okay. You know, it gives me a little time to be able to do those things that I'm very passionate about. So while pushing this, we said, why don't we look at the African fashion economy? You know, alongside, and then thought that, you know, while it is work. It's passion.
It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work, yeah. And then we decided to establish what is called the Confederation of African Fashion, right? And that is, how do we take the African fashion economy from a $60 billion economy to $500 billion? And there's quite a bit of opportunity, but then there's a lot of problems also. There's undercapitalized manufacturing, there are IP issues, there are loads and loads of issues. Let's just face it, you know. A lot of the Adire we're making, we're still importing the fabrics, you know, before we put the arrow or the dye on it, you know. So we're still doing quite a bit of that. And of course, there's the Chinese invasion. The Chinese, I mean, our countries are not at war, so they can do business. But then how do we protect the local economy? How do we protect that craft itself? You know, that became part of the matter. So I became the president of the Confederation of African Fashion. And Nigeria became the first country in Africa to sign the charter, meaning that Nigeria will now have what's called the Nigerian Fashion Federation. That's unprecedented. That's the first. And of course, so the policies for Africa happens at the Confederation of African Fashion level, then it is domesticated across Africa. So for the first time in the history of Egbaland, for the first time in the history of Yoruba land and Nigeria, we're going to have 50 countries actually come to Egbaland to pay homage to Kabisi Alake. But they're not just coming to pay homage to Kabisi Alake, they're also honoring our hero, Lishabe Agbongu Akala. But they're coming with fashion. You're going to see them in some beautiful attires. But then Egbaland is to become a mecca of diplomats going forward, where we can connect cultures. Now, those cultures are connected to the economy. If you come to Egbaland, you're going to come and spend money. It is tourism. There's quite a bit. And then we created something called the Egba Global Diplomacy. You know, Egba was a nation before Nigeria. You know, when the amalgamation happened and Nigeria became in 1914, we say the Southern Protectorate and another, there was a third party. That third party was Egbaland, because we were already a nation and to join that coalition, so to speak. So there's quite a bit of administration that has gone on in Egbaland for a very long time that we have brought back forward. So the Egba Global Diplomacy is leading now to ensure that we can get the very best for Africa. You know, you asked me about fun, but you can see that I've already gone back to work.
Yes.
You know, so let me just say this about work. I'm a writer also.
Okay.
I write what is called Constellation of Thoughts. I've done that for 16, 17 years, documenting my thoughts every day.
Okay.
A book is out shortly, Constellation of Thoughts. It's quite a bit. Now I'm doing Yoruba now and all of that. So there's quite a bit of that. I like to play table tennis. I like to play football. Most importantly, I like to play chess.
Mariam, before I let you go into your question, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we get to know more.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. All right, Mariam, your question.
Okay, so I just wanted to find out the Fashion Federation. What exactly is that body doing when it comes to our own fabric? So we're living in a world now where there's lots of, we call them modern fabrics, where there's just lots of plastic embedded in fabrics. And then what is traditionally ours, Nigeria or Africa, is that we have real organic fabrics that are sustainable. We're able to pass from generation to generation, but we're living in a world that it seems like we're putting that aside in favor of these new modern fabrics that are not sustainable, hurting us, our health and our planet. How does the Fashion Federation come in here to give us the respect and just the position that we once had, and let the world see exactly what it is that we own and celebrate it?
Okay, that's so many questions are in that, and I can see where you're going, you know, because it has many heads, as the case may be. But let me say that here we're individual champions. So there's quite a bit of great things happening in different boxes, but they're not all really connected. You know, the value chain is fragmented to start with.
That's true.
So what are we doing at the level of the Confederation, where the policy matter is? You know, we just kicked off. Nigeria just signed a few months ago, and the Fashion Federation is getting set up. But I can give you some insight into what's coming.
Okay.
You know, when the thinking becomes holistic for Africa, that's the first big deal. It's not just Nigeria thinking or just, no, it's holistic.
The whole of Africa.
And then we're able to say, okay, we need to be manufacturing these fabrics and create the standards for Africa, right? We're not fighting the rest of the world.
Yes.
You know, we're still very much connected, because that's the reality. You can't just say it's just you. No.
Yes.
You know, this is a global village. But then we must produce these fabrics in Africa and set the standards for it, because if we're talking about the global market, you know, because the market is not just local, the market is international.
Yes.
It's one market right now as it is. And that's part of what we're emphasizing. You don't just create something funny and expect that someone's going to pay thousands of dollars for it. No. And then you also have to build the brand. So let me bring it back to the local market. If you look at Adire today, you know, aside from the Chinese Adire that you see and all of that, you know, you see that our people, of course, we still have to import the fabrics itself.
Hi.
You know, because we're not producing those fabrics. So you bring the fabrics from China or wherever else, then you now put the dye on it. That means the value chain, you can see that something has come from somewhere. So we need to be producing. So we're creating new cotton belts. Africa has a number already, but then let us create more that are very deliberate, knowing that if we're moving the economy from 60 billion to 500 billion, what are the specific things we're actually doing?
Constitute
so
that enlarged economy.
Yes, so that connects to the local economy itself. And say, okay, then we also...
Let me take a call, then I'll let you expand further.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Bless you.
Oju, welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Royal Majesty, if I should address it that way. A little bit of my contribution has to be this way, just a little bit, and some brief questions too. I would like to commend you for for showcasing Nigeria traditional attire and everything. I'd like to commend you for showcasing Nigerian attire. And again, I would like to know if there's a way in Nigeria it can be taken international in a way. If you can have your fashion week, or I know that there are several fashion weeks that take place in Nigeria. I don't know if the traditional attires can also be displayed too. And again, too, I would also want to know if you personally design the clothes yourself. So These are my few questions. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that commendation. Let me say that, yes, there's quite a bit of plan to showcase for the world. Under the Confederation of African Fashion, we have a global platform coming, one platform, where you see the very best of Africa, where you can buy, the quality is guaranteed and all of that. That gives everybody some kind of opportunity. But it goes through a process so that what Africa is showcasing to the world is on point.
So
of course,
showcased how?
So you can buy
in fashion, as Fashion Week, as well.
So we have Fashion Week. So let me let this out of the bag. We have the world's first Fashion Olympics coming.
Fashion Olympics.
The world's first Fashion Olympics. It's called the African Global Fashion Games, right? You know, the first, we're going to be at Canex, November 5th to 8th, by the grace of God. We already have a partnership with the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. And a particular partnership also with CBAC, you know, that's Festac 77. Festac is going to be 50 in 2027. Okay. So there's quite a bit of convergence coming. Africa will already be in Nigeria in 2027. IATF is in 2027, is November also. So you're going to see the games. So you're going to see the best of Africa there. It's competition, actually. Oh, okay. But then it's competition that also showcases us the commercial side also. But it's deliberately a global fashion games because Africa also, we are allowing the rest of the world to join that competition. So every 2 years in Africa and every 4 years outside Africa, the African Global Fashion Games, Paris, for example, will happen.
Yeah, so what does that look like?
So just
imagine games and fashion.
Imagine the Olympics. So we're talking about quality of fabric made in your country, you know, design. So it's a big panel, you know, of judges. So of course there'll be knockouts so that is the final. So
are we going? So what I mean is, are we going to see tailors, fashion designers?
Oh yes, of course.
Textile producers.
Yes,
is that what
textile
we're talking?
producers. When you see Team Nigeria, it's a complete value chain. Who produced this? Who did that? You know, so that'll be in the hands of the Nigerian Fashion Federation to deal with Team Nigeria. The Zambian Fashion Federation will deal with Team, you know, South Africa, each country will deal with theirs.
And then you compare and then,
compete. Yes, it's a competition. The world will come to watch what's going on. We already have partners coming ahead of time already, you know, but then it's also to bring investors into Africa because we want the factories built here. So when we're talking about the fashion games, fabrics are made in Africa.
Yes.
You know, so if you want to participate, you're Chinese, you're Taiwanese, you're Americans, we are building the factory in Africa here. Yes. You know, so you can also make money from here. I mean, the future of fashion is in Africa, of course. So there's quite a bit of that. And I hope I answered your question, the gentleman. Yes.
All right. I know he was asking about what you're wearing. Is designed by you.
So let me say this, right? And this is a bit. Yes, I now have what is called Lai Labode Couture. You know, because I create my designs. You know, I ordinarily have tailors make it for me before, but now, you know, I have tailors who make it for me. But I'm not really doing the commercial thing like a regular designer. I'm very focused on the creation of telling the story. So right now, of course, I'm a big client already for myself. But then, like the festival now, we're making a lot of attires for the festival. We're focused on that rather than just the regular stuff. So when my friends come, I'm very selective on who we make for now because there's a focus on it. It's not just a commercial enterprise to just sell attires. Yes.
There's one question that has been on my mind.
Yeah.
Are Ono Kakanfo. Not be Yoruba, but for me, it means like a warrior.
It is a warrior, actually.
So how are you a warrior and a fashionista?
and a financial entrepreneur.
You know, that is how, okay, so let me say this, right? Also the Kunrumi of Ijayi. If you read the story, if you read history, you see the story of Kunrumi. You know, that's a field marshal, that's what it means, a warrior. And I'm from Ijayi. It's only the Ijayis that can become the Are of Egbaland. You know, only that's with the structure as it is. Yes, we're not fighting those kind of wars anymore. You know, we're now fighting economic wars, we're doing other things right now and the likes. But of course, I carry that spirit. I mean, I sit on that stool of Kunrumi today. I'm the king of my people in Ijayi. And by virtue of that, I'm in the cabinet of Alaki, you know, as the Are. Only people from our place can become the Are of Egbaland. And of course, you know, we're part two kings. You know, if you see statutory chief of Egbaland, they're actually all kings in Egbaland. So that's a big one. When I live here now, you know, I'm off to Abeokuta. It's Salah Day. That means from the mosque, my people are going to come to the gbáLiganza house. That means they need to come to my house. I need to host them. And so as for the attires, yes, we're making them, but we're encouraging others. If you go to Abeokuta now, a lot of tailors that we're training, you know, we're teaching them, we're giving them designs to make, we're telling them about quality, about, you know, because you're not going to go to the rest of the world with things that are not properly made. So we're doing quite a bit of that. Yes.
And that leads me to the question I wanted to ask you, like, what does being the custodian of culture in one land, what does it require from you? And also, what values guide your daily life?
Okay, so let me say this. Part of the challenges that we're faced, you know, and I think, and we face it with our full chest, you know, because, you know, we're very conscious of how history remembers us, you're right. People wonder whether innovation and culture can coexist. Yes, it can, and we're proving that. You know, I'm wearing this, you know, I mean, I'm a global citizen. You know, I like to wear designers and all that, but then a lot of people, I go around the world, this is how I'm dressed. You know, people ask me, like, is there a party every day? I say, yes, every day is a party. You know, every day is runway. I'm like this every day anyway, you know. It is that this thing, so for me, I'm part of the preservation to start with. You know, we're doing quite a bit of that. We have the African Museum also coming in Abeokuta, Fashion Museum actually coming in Abeokuta, and one in Abuja. We just got the land for it in Abuja also, where you can see this thing. So there's preservation. But we're also very concerned and excited about innovation. Like I said earlier, on Judgment Day, God will ask, what did you do in your own time? The Kembe was created many, many centuries ago. Some people created it. So what did we do in our own time? You know, God is going to ask us, right? So we're creating those new things, but we're also documenting that they must have meanings. It's not just to do a design. What does it mean? You know, that's part of what we're doing, and we think that they can coexist. So every day, you know, I get a lot of invitations from around the country, now around the world. The Canadians, they've called for a number of things, some people in Glasgow. There's quite a bit of that going on. Why are they asking? It's about understanding that the youth are now connecting to those cultures that we think are getting lost. You know, and that's part of our job. And we think that God has been very kind in letting people understand that.
All right. So we've been talking extensively about culture, fashion, and I feel that during the break I spoke about the fact that we have a lot of our fashion entrepreneurs are doing amazing, being so creative, and how some other countries are now seeing that Nigerians are buying Nigeria and we're not buying fake designer. They are now faking our own local designers, and it's affecting their creativity, not getting well paid for what they have invested into it. I'm looking at your model, the structure you're putting in place. I'm wondering, how is it going to truly protect from the fact that we have one market? Everybody can shop from their phone and they would get it delivered to them.
Absolutely.
Is there any hope for protecting the Nigerian entrepreneur and fashion entrepreneur?
Absolutely. You know, IP issues are big issues. You know, people take a lot of our stuff without adequate recompense. You know, I mean, there's a lot of theft that's going on. It's only structure that can deal with that. Let's just face it, right? Because you can't stop anybody from around the world from doing something. Yes. Is that if you have your structure properly in place, you can say, you can't do that. And you can also see that you are also positioned to be able to do it. You know? So when we're talking about the global African platform where you can shop, for example, and the African fashion weeks that we're talking about, I'm not talking about segments. I'm talking about one that covers the entire Africa, moving around the world, like especially at the Global Fashion Games, at the African Global Fashion Games. You're going to see that there's this structure around it. You can't really steal from it.
Yeah.
You know, so it is deliberately centralized, you know. So if you see somebody from Soweto that has created a beautiful design, we have already dealt with how that IP is protected before it comes onto that platform. You know, so if you come in there to shop in Africa, you know that everything that is on that platform is very well protected. It is priced in the proper way. Nobody is going to buy a thing that's worth $2,000 for $100. It's not going to happen. You know, Nigerians are really creative, but that creativity itself, we must, you know, brush it, put a structure around it, and sell it to the world. A lot of, we had a presentation the other day, and one of the guys, one of my younger friends who's doing very well in fashion, said to me that, he said, Uncle, this structure that you talk about, don't you think that we should just keep going, then, you know, it will happen along the line? I said, that's what we're already doing. You know, it is time to put that money follows the structure. So we're working on the African Fashion Fund, where the fund is very deliberate about moving things to the next level. So it's not fund just to share to different people. It is deliberate that if we must move this economy from here to here and bring in investors into Africa, money is not going to follow what is not structured. It has to follow.
Okay.
Let me take this caller. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Tope. How are you this morning?
I'm doing amazing. Good to have you.
Yes. Yeah. The young man on the studio is really very, very impressive.
He's a young man.
Very young man, obviously. Dr. Tony is an older man, I guess. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I'm so impressed with all what he's saying, and I wish I can attend the
Egbaliganza Leisure Festival.
Yes, can you hear me, Tope?
Yes, we can. The event.
Yes, No, I said I would like to know the date for the program.
Oh, okay.
For the showcasing of the
28th of March.
Egbaliganza.
28th of March.
And the location.
Lishabi Festival happens in Abeokuta on the grand finale.
Where in Abeokuta? Where in Abeokuta, please?
At the palace, at the Ake Palace.
At the Ake Palace.
Yes, on the 28th.
Yes. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He's calling from Ogun State, so it's personal.
I appreciate his dressing. I appreciate his fantasy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, I know we're still talking fashion, right? So many people say that given how much we've done in fashion, we still don't get the respect that European designers get in the market, where there's esteemed designers. And we are doing really good work, but we are not placed on the same platform. We're not seeing the same, we're not making the same money.
Yes.
What can this confederation
there's a saying,
help us?
and that Irini sin is on your lojo.
Now you see me, now you go appreciate me.
That's it. You know, you see, part of our work at the global, at the African platform, right, is that let me tell you, let me take you to the fashion games, for example. You know what it is for you to see those big designers that you talk about showcasing on the same platform with our designers. We're not going to put designers that are joking there. You know, so when you're talking about Ugomonye's influence is huge. You know, you have Amdidi, you know, who has now become a cultural one. There's quite a bit of influence that has also come. We have a number of these guys. My Atafo, there's quite a bit of guys around that, you know, you can actually take to the global stage, right? But there are a number of things that we also need to do. It is how we present them to the world. So imagine at the global fashion games, because part of what it's quite expensive, but it is worth spending the money. It's about the quality of what needs to happen. You know, some of our guys have questioned, why are we spending so much money on consultants? I said, that's the only way. If you want to compete, imagine a brand spend $2, $3, $4 million on a show. Then you want to go and spend 500,000. There's something going on.
Yes.
You know, it's the same market, right? So I'm wearing a T-shirt that somebody has made and it's 200,000. Somebody else is wearing the same T-shirt and it has X name on it and it's $2,000. Why? The investment has been made
into making that
happen. So what we're doing is to make that. A lot of people cannot afford to make that investment. So we understand that. So we're being practical about it. But the kind of investments we're making at the level of the Confederation will help a lot of our designers go to that level. Imagine when London, the London Fashion Week with Ugomonye the other time, right? And when we entered, I was telling Ugo, I said, wait a minute, shouldn't this UK know that we're here?
Exactly.
For real. They should know that we're here. They don't even know we're here. You know, yes, beautiful attires, we're on the runway, it looks nice and all of that. There should be something else that needs to be done. And that's part of our work at the Confederation level. And that's why each country in Africa will now have their own fashion federation, feeding off the same policy for Africa, going towards the same goal. Respect for our designers is high time because there's too much creativity here. But we must put a structure around it for the world to recognize it.
All right, let me take another call. Welcome to the show. Good morning. And our men are calling.
Yes.
Are you still there? Welcome to the show. Mr. Robinson, we lost your call. Apologies. Honestly, but a part of me just wants to still go back to your family. Like, I feel like, okay, what's family life like? Kids, how are your kids, you know, looking at their dad on the runway? It's such a different thing.
How do they see fashion?
Yes.
Okay, so
don't you feel put them under pressure? They will like, they can't afford to fall hand.
So I'm happily married to Ijoma, Irelu Ijoma, Lai Labode. My wife is an Igbo woman.
Oh.
You know, and I have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl, Salt, Einstein, and Rhodium. My first son schools in the U.S. is in the University of South Carolina. One of my boys is back in Nigeria. He's in Adesoye College here, and my daughter is still at home with us. She's about 10 years old.
Okay.
So family life is such a big deal, you know.
Okay.
Let me say that the kind of I'm too restless, you know. So you can imagine the kind of support I need from my wife, you know, and all of that, making sure that things are fine. But I don't even know how I do it because family time is also such a big deal.
Okay.
You know? So what I do is I can take my daughter for a whole day.
Okay.
You know, take my son for a whole day. I do quite a bit of that to keep family together. You know, we travel together also. Family is everything. My mother is no more here. My dad is here. My dad is the Areba Royal of Egbaland.
Okay.
My dad is almost an albino, so when you see him, you see one very yellow man. You wonder that's my dad. A fashionista himself.
Oh, I see where you got it from.
Yes, of course. And I'm also half caste, you know, because I'm partly Lagosian, and of course I'm an Egba. My mom is from the Okono family, the famous Okono family in Lagos. There's quite a bit of that connection when it comes to fashion. But family, the Okonos are very beautiful people. The Labodes are very beautiful people, and we have been able to build such family that we think that we're very conscious of how we're remembered in history.
Yeah.
So in your own nuclear small family, how does fashion play
big
a
deal.
part? Okay.
Big deal. So my kids.
Before you answer, let me just take this call. Welcome to the show. Mayowa, are you there? Hello, Mayowa, you are live.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. You're live.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
Well, good, thank you.
I love watching your program every morning.
Thank you.
But I want to meet some of you seriously. I can see that 2 of you are not there again.
Yeah.
But you people are keeping it working. God bless
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayowa.
Yes. I want to talk to my Arionoka council.
He's listening.
Are,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
Very well, sir.
I can see the way you are vibrating. Nobody will know you are educated like this. You really impress us. You represent Yoruba very well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. God will deal with you.
Amen, sir. Thank you so much.
I just want to advise,
Yes, sir.
as you are carrying your people along in area of economic war against economy development, I don't want you to lose focus on the title you are appearing to
Yes.
as Are Onokan Council.
Yes.
If you can gather your people together before the king like this to strategize too on security, especially in Yoruba land. As you are going with the economy, please go with security. Because insecurity can destabilize every good plan.
Absolutely.
So, as articulated as you are, we believe that God has given you the knowledge of strategy. Especially anybody that can do fashion must be an intellectual somebody. So I want you to combine the two now. As you are helping us to grow people, to develop people, focus on that security too.
Yes.
So that all these bad boys will not come and scatter all your good work. You get it now. So when you are with the king, with the chiefs, give them strategy to capture the young ones out of this bad habit, so that they will not go and join bad people to make our area ungovernable. God will be with you.
Thank you
Amen.
so much.
We'll continue to pray for you. The program you people have, the Lord will sustain it. The Lord will make it happen very well in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
that was a different direction, but very,
Absolutely.
wholesome is the
Yes.
word.
So we know
Actually,
that. So
No, I don't know if you would like to respond to that, even though I'd asked the question you are going
Oh,
to.
yes. Let me thank the caller very much because security is such a big deal.
Yes.
But economic wars are also part of security wars, actually. But I get what he's saying because there's quite a bit of that. I know that the federal government of Nigeria is doing quite a bit because you know, a lot of times these things are lost because if you don't see the results like that, you don't know how much work is actually going on. So there's quite a lot that the Tinubu administration is doing around it. And if you see the moves around the state police, it's also in their direction. You see that, you know, the locals know how best to manage and secure their areas. That's why the president has also moved in that direction. Kabiyesi Alake in Abeokuta also, there's quite a bit, as the economy of Ijayi, the Balogun of Ijayi, you know, I was on a tour 2 weeks ago of my community, you know, and the Hausa people had come, you know, the Ijayi, for example, they have 3 sections in Ijayi, you know, the Adebakin section, you know, they host most of the Hausas, and they're a whole lot, you know, and we live with them peacefully. So there was a big problem suddenly, and, you know, and I was really amazed at how much of them had actually come out, you know, and I can tell you that the way we dealt with it locally, working with my chiefs and the Olu, you know, it's a model that, you know, said we should document and share with the rest of Egbaland because every Balogun is actually dealing with something around that place, but it is how we live together. Even if we are just Yorubas, we also have issues amongst ourselves. It's to ensure that we all become security conscious. So the Hausa people that are amongst us, the Igbo people that are amongst us, is how we actually live. So we have already set a structure that, you know, we're doing a paper by the end of Bishabi Festival. We're going to also release that to the rest of the community and the committee of the Baloguns. Security is such a big deal. Be sure that Kabiyesi Alake, there's quite a bit that's actually going on. In fact, there's a new committee that I can't really talk about now, that is on how we prepare for the state police that is going to come. So we're already thinking ahead. Yes.
That's good to know.
So let's go on a break. When we come back like this, we take your question.
After he answers mine.
Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.